welcome back to another video. I am Jay-Z Bell Kuku, and I'm here with
May, and today we're going to talk to you about our favorite Jonah and Amy scenes from the show Superstore, which we both watch and love or have loved in the past. And I'm going to start by sharing my favorite scene of their coupling over the last 5 seasons. And it is actually a scene that came in the 3rd season that I will show you now.
Hey,
Oh, okay.
so are we okay?
Why don't we just start over?
Fresh start?
Fresh start. All right, so oh my God, how many buttons do you have?
A lot. Wait, do I need a...
No, I'm already pregnant.
Oh, right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Hey guys, look what's on.
That's hilarious.
It really is.
Wondering which moment you're gonna pick, because I feel like generally, everyone would agree on what the top 3 or so moments were, because they were pretty big ones. That was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I mean, the big reason why I like it so much, it's so memorable because it's such a huge, explosive moment. They had a kind of like a tumultuous season 3. They didn't really know what was going to happen with their relationship, and at that point, she had kissed him after finding out she was pregnant, and he was like, "Why did you do that?" So it's like, still,
Yeah.
will they, won't they? And then, I love that moment where she just says, "Let's start over," but he's like, basically, I don't want to. Like, let's start from now. They have too much history already, and they just kind of go for it, and then they start to have an actual relationship in season 4.
I never even thought of it that way, actually. That's funny. That, like, I never thought of the kiss as being a way of being like, you know what, scratch that, let's not start over. Let's just do this thing. But it was definitely like a very, very cute Jonah moment, particularly, obviously, because he's the one who kind of takes over and is like, let's make this happen. But I feel like it's interesting because I feel like if you had asked me what my favorite moment with them was pre them breaking them up, my answer might be a little different. In which case, I don't know if that is a problem in terms of
What does that
why.
mean? What was your favorite scene before they broke up?
Okay, here's the thing. If you ask me, like, because you told me, before we started recording, that you picked the moment that came to your mind first.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me what moment comes to my mind first when I think of Amy and Jonah, it 100% is their tornado kiss. That one to me rises above all the rest, not only because it's their first kiss, which, first kiss is always special, but also because in general, to me, that was one of the best episodes of Superstore, period. It was just a all-around hilarious episode. So I just really love that episode in general, and that moment, the fact that that moment happened in that episode made it even better. So I think that one is always like up there for me. But
Oh no.
I'm going to pick a different moment, and I'll explain why later. And I don't know if it's inappropriate to do that in a video that's supposed to be about our favorite Amy Jonah moment.
We'll say that the tornado moment is an honorary mention.
It's 100% an honorary
Yes.
mention. And this would have been the one you showed probably would have been my other honorary mention. I think, like they have a lot of other like great moments here and there. And I think one of the great things about them is that because obviously they work together, so almost every episode has like cute moments of like their little banters and their quips and all that kind of stuff. So, but I think I'm going to pick let's see. I was very, very torn about this. And honestly, okay.
So you're picking your favorite moment, but you're still not sure about this being your favorite moment?
There's one that I'm not picking in part just because I couldn't find the clip of it, which is the very first moment that they have where he shows her the stars.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, just because again, that's like the start of their relationship, and I think it beautifully showcases what Jonah kind of represents to her in her life and what she needed from him. But for some reason, I could not find the clip of that on YouTube, so I'm not going to pick that one. But okay,
another honorary mention.
The clip that I picked to show is not going to be a kiss clip, surprisingly, but I did say that my number one kiss wise would definitely be their tornado kiss, and this is a clip that is the funny aftermath of that, basically.
An affair. Glenn, it wasn't an affair. It was one kiss, and it happened because we thought we were about to die.
We all thought we were gonna die. You didn't see me smooching the first lady person I could find.
Weren't you praying to Allah the whole time?
Well, I didn't. I am not the one on trial here.
Nobody's on trial. Okay? We all make mistakes. We all have lust in our hearts.
It wasn't
When you say lust,
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know you guys that well. Maybe you're in love then.
No, we're not.
definitely not love.
So you say, but Lord, I'm sensing something going on.
I'm sensing something.
Great, this again.
No, actually, we're dating. So.
Oh, Tiger Gaze girl. Okay.
Love or lust? All right, guys, enough is
It
enough.
doesn't matter. Even if they were soulmates, it doesn't make it okay.
Look, Amy is not my soulmate, okay? Yes, fine. When I first started working here years ago, I had a little crush on Amy there. I said it, okay? Are you happy?
Exactly, and at one point I had a crush on Jonah, and that's all in the past.
Exactly.
I love this scene so much.
Yeah, no, never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because even if because with the timing and everything, yeah, so you get it. So, stop. You didn't know. You still love each other? What?
No, we never. We've moved on.
And anyway, it doesn't matter. We've all, and besides, I'm with
Kelly.
with Kelly. Yeah, no, obviously.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm generally a cynic, but this.
She didn't know that he didn't know. And now he knows that she knows.
We get it, Sandra.
Oh my god. That scene cracks me up.
I love it so much. It's so awkward, and everyone's like fumbling their way through the conversation.
So there's a couple of reasons I love that scene. one, obviously just because it's hilarious. B, like I said, it's the aftermath of the tornado scene, the tornado episode, which I love. And okay, so the fact when they call out Glenn for like praying to all the different gods during that episode, that was like one of the most hilarious parts of that episode too. And that was really funny. And then B, I love how it shows how invested everybody else is in Amy and Jonah's relationship, which is like a consistent theme throughout the show. Is just like, you know, everyone is just cares way too much about what's going on with their with their love life. So the fact that they sit there and they're at their work having these like discussions about their relationship is hilarious to me, especially how deeply invested Sandra gets in their relationship, which I think is like very, you know, characteristic of like reflecting how the audience feels. And so I feel like they always like do a good job of beautifully like articulating how we're thinking and feeling, but doing it in a really funny way. So I love that they show that too. And then the third part, which kind of goes back to what I said about how they broke up. I like how this is kind of like characteristic of their entire relationship in a sense, which is that for the vast majority of the time, the two of them were never really on the same page. And, you know, their relationship ended with them not being on the same page. And I think that that's something that is, yeah, like, you know, a lot of people, obviously, myself included, were very upset about the breakup. But it was actually very characteristic to their relationship as a whole, because as that whole scene indicated, they both had feelings, but they were just never on the same timeline, on the same page with where they were with their emotions. And even like the clip you showed, like one of the things that bugged me ultimately about the fact that Amy, when she eventually like did get on board, it was while she was pregnant with her ex-husband's child. And you know, they do have like a fight about that, like you said, and he calls her out on that. And I remember that really bothered me too, because I was mad for Jonah, because he was right. Like, it's like he waited around for her for years while she was in her marriage, and then her marriage finally broke up, and then he's like finally, you know, with somebody else and is somewhat happy, and then she decides that she wants him and kisses him, but she kisses him and then immediately afterwards tells him that she's pregnant. And I'm just like, you were playing with this boy's emotions like no other.
That's why he gets so mad at her later on, and that's why I like that moment specifically, is because like it's when they finally, in that instance, they get on the same page. Because you know, she not only does like he kiss her, but she reciprocates, and it's not like there's no more making excuses. There's nothing standing in their way. It's just like, you know what? Forget everything that's happened. We're gonna go for this at long last, after I don't know how long, and they just you know, screw everything. That's it, and I love that. Yeah,
and I agree with that. I think that my only qualm with all of it, though, is that, you know, we never got to see, obviously, like, we saw their relationship, like, developing and all that stuff, but in a sense, is like, all of that was ultimately about Amy getting on board, because Jonah was on board from day one that he met her, basically. And he was very, you know, he was always, like, there and supportive and patient and whatever, like, it was a matter of just Amy finally getting on board. And the breakup basically took them backwards in that, like, now Amy's not on board again after all of that, which is not, you know, too out of character for her to do, because it took her forever to get on board in the first place. But I think this is an opportunity for the writers to be able to finally have Amy be the one to be pursuing Jonah instead of the other way around, because the entire show, it's always been Jonah having to kind of put forth the effort to make something happen between them. Mm-hmm. And which is, I feel, unfair to him, to be honest. So I feel like this is an opportunity to kind of correct that and to show that Amy is just as invested, or able to be just as invested in her relationship as Jonah, and not just be, you know, messing with him in a sense or whatever. Like, I'm sure she really does like love him and stuff. I don't doubt that, but clearly she's always had trouble committing to the relationship as much as he is. So
But I
really
think that
want
speaks to her romantic history. Like, he is the one who embraces change, who, because, you know, he's come from like I was in business school to working retail, and she was kind of stuck in the same place for a long time. And I think a lot of her fears come from jumping into a commitment and then getting stuck, like she did with Adam, where she doesn't feel like she can really get out, even though she doesn't want to be in it. But with Jonah, I think it's different. Like, she does actually want to be in it. It's just going to take her a little bit more time to realize that this is something that she does want. So I completely agree with that argument. And I hope that the show at the end helps her come back to him, at least to be like, look, I do want to be with you, and we should make this work, you know. And since the show's ending, he should just move to California.
Yeah. 100%.
Thanks again for watching our videos, and tune in next week where we share another scene with you and discuss why we loved it to each other and to you.
All right, tune in next time. Thank you, guys.
Bye.